Situations made a man of me. That is expected, I'm exactly who I plan to be. I looked my mama in the eyes and told her we gon' make it. How could I go anyway but her? Now I'm sitting at your grave, reminiscing all the time that I wasted. I can't make it up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the l.u.v.podcast. We have your host here, l.u.v. Jones.
And it's your boy Drake.
And today, we got a very special guest. We got Marceau Winston.
What up?
Man, I just want to give you a very special thanks, though, because for y'all that don't know, taking it back to 2017, when I first started Fancy, Marceau was the person who blessed me. He looked out for me. He helped me start Fancy and, gave me the groundwork, let me know how to even approach starting a t-shirt business. I ain't know nothing about it, so I just want to give you a flower.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank
Facts.
you.
Yeah. That's a huge step, man. Like sharing information is very important.
Yeah,
especially in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for the viewers who may not know you at home, why don't you introduce yourself?
Alright, like I said, I go by the name. My name is Marceau Winston, event promoter, music manager, anything entertainment. I put my hands on, but I'm mostly known for my parties,
For sure.
and just working with different record labels.
Yeah.
And independent artists in the area.
For sure. So how you get started with that?
Well, I always had a love for it. Growing up, my uncle, a lot of people don't know this, my uncle was Earth, Wind & Fire's manager.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, he worked with a lot of different artists. Like he worked with Bobby Brown. His main group was Earth, Wind & Fire. Like he was at Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston wedding.
Okay.
More current artists was kind of like, I want to say Usher,
Gotcha.
Pharrell. He worked with some of them just doing logistics, road management, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So I always saw that growing up, and I just had a love for the culture of hip hop. Like I was the guy, I would buy a music CD, and I was the one reading the credits.
Okay.
I would read the thank yous,
Same.
and then I started seeing, especially like with Def Jam and stuff like that, I started seeing the same names.
Yeah.
I'm 12, 13, and I started seeing the same names in everybody's album who was being thanked for. And then I was 14, one of my close friends, I'm originally from Baltimore, but moved out here when I was like 12. I graduated from Millbrook High School. But one of my best friends took himself out of public school and put himself in private school. He put himself in Ravenscroft. He needed money. Yeah, he took himself. He took himself like it was his idea. It wasn't his mom's idea or nobody's idea.
Okay.
He was like, yo, I'm going to Ravenscroft. He's like, I'm gonna go to Ravenscroft next year.
I didn't even know that was private.
Yeah, it was Ravenscroft private school, expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
So he needed money.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, let's throw a party.
For sure.
Like, you're the most popular dude that I know. I'm popular. Let's throw a party.
Yeah.
So at 14, we had an entrepreneurial spirit, and we went out and started throwing parties. And I did that through Howard High School.
Facts.
And then just in college, I just wanted to learn more and more. I was like, again, music, hip hop culture. I was always intrigued by the business of it, how it moved. I saw my uncle was always on the road. He was working with this person, that person, and I still didn't really understand what he did. He kept saying logistics. I'm like, what the hell is logistics? Like, what are you doing? So when I got to college, I linked up with my man named Keith. He had a different street team accounts. So before everything got on MP3 and on computers and stuff like that, it was albums.
Yeah.
So record labels would send albums, vinyl albums, to a guy in the market, and that guy would be responsible for handing that record out to DJs. That's how DJs got exclusives.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking 2006 when people were still doing this.
Okay.
So I got into it, and he kind of faded out, and he started giving me all his street promotion accounts. And I'm even talking about like boxes of CDs, handing their CDs out, promotional stuff. And I started doing that, and I got back into throwing parties in college. And then somebody who he linked me with, who is now one of the top music executives by the name of Arnold Taylor.
Right.
He's over top of the Baby, South Coast Music Group.
Okay.
I started working directly with him. Like I was their go-to guy in the Raleigh market. And every time they had an artist, cause he was at the time, I wanna say was with Interscope and Def Jam, like running, doing the marketing stuff.
Okay.
So, and he had his own record pool. Record pool was like pretty much, like I said, get the records and get it out. And they was giving me different promotional accounts and different stuff, sending it my way. and I got back into parties, and then I got an internship with Warner Music Group, which is like over top of Atlantic Records and stuff. Then I ended up getting an internship with Atlantic Records, and my love and my hustle and passion just grew and continued to grow with it.
Yeah, that's outstanding for real.
That's
like
that's
a lot. Yeah, like just saying how you started in high school and now you work your way up to having internships and you was just hustling. That shows the testament.
Yeah, my hustle back then, bro, was crazy. Like it's like I went to Central,
right?
But I threw parties in Raleigh. I didn't throw parties in Durham. I threw parties in Raleigh.
Why not?
And cause pretty much like I grew up in Raleigh.
Okay.
Business wise,
right?
yeah, I graduated from Millbrook. Business wise, you gotta know the scene. People from Durham come to Raleigh to party, but Raleigh doesn't go to Durham.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of changing now,
Yeah.
but the concept is still the same.
For real.
If it's a party in Raleigh versus Durham, more than likely you're gonna come to Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I knew the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was connected to streets, but I went to college. So it made more sense for me to throw. I started, I don't know if they're still around now, but a group called Showstoppers.
Okay.
I started throwing parties with them.
Okay.
And then like it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And I linked my internships
Right.
with parties. So
Because
if-
at the end of the day, like the people who are gonna be at their internships are probably gonna be at
Like
the
my-
parties too, it's gonna help you.
my internship, like something we had to do, we had to get a records played in the club.
Right.
So I got my own party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I booked the DJ.
Okay.
I need to tell you, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna tell you, yo, you gotta play Mano's High Hater record.
Right.
Remember that High Hater?
Right.
Yeah, like you gotta play that record.
Yeah.
You gotta play Pretty Ricky. You gotta play T.I. These are the artists that I was interning. Under Atlantic Records that I was working with. And then on top of that, me being out, like before I even started throwing parties, my free pass in the club was walking up to the door with 5 and 6 records on my arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I need to give these to the DJ. Shout out to D.Y. Nasty, right? He owns Hot 97. Now he had his own stuff going on, and he dealt with like my boss's boss.
Yeah.
So he was getting stuff. I remember going to him one night, and I was giving, yo, got this record. He said, bro, chill. Like, chill. Like, you can ask him. He's like, bro, chill. Everything you got, they send to me first exclusively. I got you. But keep doing your thing exactly how you doing it, because you doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But when it come to me, chill. So it was cool. And yeah, it was a lot of hard work, bro. Like, I would throw, and then like I said, my hustle was different. I would go to 5 or 6 different clubs, and at each club, I'm passing out a record to the DJ, and then I'm also hitting the parking lot flyers for my party. Somebody called me and be like, yo, we got Trey Songz on a promo route through North Carolina, set whatever. Okay, boom, I'm plugging in the itinerary. I'm also gonna plug in my party. So Trey Songz coming to my party for free. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm getting a sweet deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, or I'm plugging it in with another promoter, and now me and you building, because, yo, this artist gonna be in town. He costs $10,000. I can get him for you for $3.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for nothing off of it but a relationship.
That's it.
And those relationships started then, and I'm still tight with all these people. And that's how I was able to get the clubs when we was working with Fresh Empire. That's one of the six with like Big Tex. I've never thrown a party with Big Tex. He owns Star Bar.
Right.
I've never thrown a party with him, but we've always had a relationship ever since I was young. And that's why I was able to get, a situation like that, just leverage relationships throughout time.
So that, like, just hearing how you was just handing out the records, it kind of reminded me of like Kanye in the Genius documentary.
Yeah.
Because like,
That was around the same time. Yeah.
And that's crazy because like now, we got social media, we got
emails,
we got
email.
digital,
Right.
digital
So you get
music.
email blasts. It's the same thing as handing out shit.
Yeah.
And just now, like seeing how he had to go to like basically room to room in Rockefeller, just playing his music, performing.
It wasn't no clicks. Everybody sitting down and listen to it.
Yeah.
But I kind of like, and even still, I kind of like that because that's one thing the world is missing, just that interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that no more because everything is on a computer. Everything is click a button. You know what I'm saying? We don't have these sit downs. We don't have the relationship building when I come in and I play a record for you and I get to see the expression on your face.
Yeah.
Now, if I send somebody a record, I gotta, if maybe he might email me back and be like, I like it, versus me sitting there and me seeing that music actually captivate you and move you, versus you like, you sitting there on the phone the whole time and you like,
I just like it.
you know what I'm saying? That's you know, you can't really see that no more.
Yeah. So that's also like when you send somebody something funny and they just looking at the stale face, but they sending you back like LMAO and stuff like that. I get it. So
backtracking like to your childhood, like how was your upbringing?
Upbringing, we had our ups and downs, we had our challenges, but you know, I was blessed. I had both my parents in my household. Real close relationship with my mother, real close relationship with my dad. 2 brothers and an older sister. My older sister, different mom. But it was real good. You know, like I said, we had ups and downs from Baltimore. Being raised up there the mentality is totally different than being raised down here. Mm-hmm. So when I moved down here, streetwise, or just how can I say this? Well, yeah, streetwise, like my common knowledge was different. My book knowledge might have been on your level, but my street knowledge was way advanced just because of the type of stuff growing up in a city like Baltimore you gotta deal with on a day-to-day basis. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I moved down here, I'm like, oh, okay, it's easy to get you. It's easy to get you. Facts. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm not with that. Right. But if I wanted to, I could be because just my advanced street knowledge. Yeah, other than that, cool, man. You know, 2 brothers, but grew up playing basketball. Dad became a barber. My family real popular up there, you know. So. What
was your interest like growing up? Like, did it kind of correlate to like what you do now?
Basketball.
Basketball
was my interest. My dad was all county. Okay. My uncle, all county basketball. Played, I think it was D2, D3 basketball. My family in the sports, and then on the other side, that's on my dad's side. Then on my mom's side, my 2 uncles had their own band musically. Then my uncle, you know, my other uncle were Earth, Wind & Fire. Gotcha. My other uncles was still playing in the band, but it wasn't, his music was like, it wasn't country and it wasn't like bluegrass, but it was like bar music. You know what I'm saying? So he would play, you know what I'm saying?
So is it kind of like jazz or is it kind of like background, like?
It's kind of like, I would say a mix between jazz and country.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Like blues?
Like blues, there we go. It was more so blues. It was more so blues, yeah. It was more so blues, so I saw that, and you know, he was a drummer. And then my other uncle, like I said, he went on work on Earth, Wind & Fire. Yeah. So it was mainly sports and music. Okay.
And
surviving up there.
I think liquor house music was the term we might have been looking for.
Okay. Yeah. Then moving down here, it was just, I ain't know nobody. Yeah. Okay. No, it was just me and my brothers. Grew up in Brentwood, Green Road area. Yeah. Just playing basketball and trying our best to stay out of trouble.
So I still go to Greenwood Community Center now.
They redid a lot over there on Green Road, but you know, it was cool. You know, like I said, we had our challenges. Yeah. Growing up being a black male, you know, got your challenges, but other than that, it was cool.
So jumping into like, you know, when we met at Fresh Empire, so how did that come about?
So again, relationships. I had a guy by the name Dave Edwards. He called me one day. Yeah. Now Dave was someone who was interested in music business as well. We never really hung. We grew up together. We went to East Millbrook and Millbrook High School together. We was always cool. Never really hung out. But our love, when I got to Central, he was at ECU, I believe. You know, we became cool. He worked with a guy that graduated from Central, and he's part owner, or his brother's a part owner of the Bobcats. I mean, not the Bobcats, the Hornets. I'm sorry, the Bobcats back then. So he linked with him, and he made his connections, and he linked with this guy named Mario Singleton. I don't know if you remember Mario. Mario was the boss. Yeah. So I was literally sitting at the Star Bar eating. My guy Dave called me and was like, Marceau, looking for somebody to run some events in Raleigh. I'm like, cool, send them my way. You know, I can take on another account. And I'm thinking it's just, you got an event going on, you need some help. I got you, cool. And I sent Dave my resume. Then, you know, he linked me with Mario. Mario called me and I sent him my resume and we went from there. He was like, I think, like I said, I'm thinking it's a week, like a one-time thing or a couple events. He was like, oh no, this is a full-time job with salary, etc. And then explained to me what we was doing. I was like, oh, I'm the perfect person for this. Yeah. Like, let's go. So, in about 3 weeks to a month later, you know, officially got hired, and I was like, hit the ground running.
So like, how long was you doing? How long was you with Fresh?
We from the beginning until July of 2016, about 3 years.
Okay.
So 3 years. I started Fresh Empire. For those of you that don't know, it was a tobacco awareness campaign using hip hop to keep kids from smoking tobacco.
Okay.
So what we did was we sponsored events, meaning if you had an event, I would hit you up and I would try to sponsor it to get our activation stuff set up. Right. My brand ambassadors would come and engage with the crowd, right. And just go through our interactive kiosks. And then we threw our own events, okay. Meaning like we threw pretty much our own parties, and it was for high school students. Yeah. So that's pretty much what Fresh Empire was in a nutshell. And I was the market manager, and I was over top of pretty much everything in this market, from the hiring to the marketing, to the staffing of the events, to the booking of the artists, to the booking of the venue, to everything. So it was pretty much everything I did on
anything. No.
Oh, it's good. It was pretty much everything that I do on a promoter level.
Right.
It was on a corporate level, but for high school students.
Yeah, that's cool. So it gave you more did that give you more of a structure of how like things could work inside of your own like business?
Yes and no. It was stuff that I was already doing. Like we had to do event recaps sometimes. Well, he had to do event recaps, meaning like a recap of our event. Right. I did all that stuff when I was working with Atlanta Records.
Okay.
We had to do something called in the entertainment business called the run of show, meaning the structure of the show. Right. The time we're going to arrive, the time that the staff is going to arrive at the warehouse to load the truck up, the travel time from there to there, to this, to the artist arriving in town, from their travel time from the airport to their hotel, how long they're going to be at the hotel, from the hotel to the venue. Yeah. That's called the run of show. Okay. You know, I did all that with Atlanta Records.
Gotcha.
I did that program, routing promotional tours. Okay. So when the artists would come in town, so like I said, all that stuff was like secondhand.
For sure. Yeah. And so I want to say that I joined maybe June or July of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about that real quick, because I'm more like Drake. No, I'm introverted. Like I'm to myself.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So,
I remember.
So like when because Andy told me about Fresh Empire, and it kind of got my interest because I never did anything like that. I'm laid down to myself. So like just me and you and just being around that atmosphere, it kind of helped me like transition into college, because it allowed me to be able to meet more people. It allowed me to like network. Even with Fresh Empire, I was networking. Like you made sure whenever we had guests, like you would like help me through networking, and you would help me through like the process of getting a kid. Like just going through that experience was amazing. And I was upset at the time when you told me that it was not doing it anymore.
That shit hurt. Because it came out of nowhere. Because the crazy part about it is I had just had a call, and it was like, yo, we good. Like we good through, because the contract was ending for the whole program, and they was renewing it for another like 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And they had just said, yo, y'all good, Raleigh's good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then we had just had Ayo and Tayo that Saturday. Yeah. And then I got a call on a Monday.
That's tough. That's a tough lineup too.
Bro, I just had Ayo and we just did Ayo and Tayo on Saturday, bro. And that Monday, And I knew something was up because I had a call. It was the call with India on my normal call, but then it was HR scheduled to be on that call, the head of operations, then Mario, the head of the event, and I was like,
what's going on? What's up?
This shit.
Yeah.
I know how shit work. Oh, I said it's two things. It's either good or bad. We're gonna take it for it. And when they said it, I was just like, okay, cool. Well, you know, I ain't spaz.
Right.
Kept my, because it's always still a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm still cool with every single person.
Right.
If I needed something with them right now, you know.
And
and it's out because it was out of their hands.
Yeah.
Like when people, the whole program. This is the most important thing. The whole program was funded by the government.
Right.
Yeah.
It was funded by the FDA. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, and this is when Trump was in office.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine, pretty much, essentially, we had a tobacco awareness campaign that was funded by the FDA, that was paying for us to throw parties in the black community to keep black kids and other minority kids off tobacco using hip hop. That's essentially what it was.
Right.
So, you know, but yeah, like I was hurt.
I was hurt too, cause like the momentum we was picking up crazy.
Yeah,
like,
and what's even more crazy is like I was hurt because I had a bond with every single one of y'all. Our own individual special bond. And, you know, I knew like some of the kids, that stuff, it changed you when you grew in that way, but it saved other kids.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was other kids. I had a girl up there and she used to always argue and fight.
Mm-hmm.
She got into a situation and her mother pulled her out, and me and her, I talked to her. I said, you can't come back until you stay out of trouble and pull your grades up. This girl was on her way like to other stuff in life. Now she I want to say it's junior or sophomore in college, about to graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like it kept her in line because that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's why if you remember India was talking, I couldn't talk. Like that shit was like, man, damn.
Oh, at the farewell.
The farewell. The dinner when we told everybody, I was like, yo, India, you got this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, that was my boss. That was the regional manager, and I was like, yo, you got this. I can't do it.
Yeah, I was I remember that last moment. It was just like it was surreal because like, you know, I was building up relationships with everybody.
Yeah, we was a family.
Yeah. And, you know, I always call you, you know, and it was just, that was an outstanding time for me. That was a amazing time.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it.
And so like, what like garnered your interest into like promoting?
Just my love, and then I saw I can do it. I used me being popular. I was always a popular kid. I used me being popular in just relationships.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school, one thing that I did was I reached out to the other popular kid at Southeast or at L.u.v. I was like, yo, spread the word. You know, here's some flyers.
Yeah.
You know, bring 30 people. You and your crew good, just bring 30 people. And they was excited to be a part of it. And I still got a relationship with all these people to this day.
Right.
Like one person that I used, my man Rashad Poole, he's the head. He runs the Boys and Girls Club on the South Side now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody I talk to, you know, everybody I work with, they're doing good now. But even back then, like they was popular and had their own influence.
Right.
So this is before social media when we had to print flyers out and stuff. So, you know, I just used my popularity with it at the end of the day. And it was just something that I was interested in. And I always loved the business of it.
And what was your first promo job? You said it was with one?
It wasn't with Arnold, it was with Keith. My first promotional job was, I got called, I would say the first one that I was really responsible by myself, I got called to work a show at Cat's Cradle. Cat's Cradle's in like right outside Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Just you go all the way down Franklin Street, it's right there. It's a real famous concert venue. You only hold like 500 people, but everybody that been through there.
Okay.
And it was for Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang.
Oh, yeah.
And
that
Ghostface was my, Ghost and Method Man,
Right.
my favorite members of Wu-Tang. Like I grew up, like Wu-Tang was people, like I love it. And so my first one was, it was just literally just going in the venue, putting Ghostface posters all up and down the street, all outside the venue, and inside the venue. And that was my first one. And you know, I had to do an event recap and everything like that. But that was the first one I actually did like by myself.
For sure.
Yeah, and I was like a fan. Like, yeah.
Just I can't even imagine. Cause I do I know about Wu-Tang even though
Yeah.
I'm young, but like I know I used to listen to Ghostface back in the day. So
Yeah, he was my favorite one. So like when I met Ghostface, I was like, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, for sure.
It's over.
For sure.
With you hosting events, like what was one of the biggest events that you hosted so far?
I've done a lot. I'll just say All-Star Weekend when it was in Charlotte. Because
like 4 years ago?
Like 3-4 years ago, something like that.
Huge.
Yeah, cause that, like I host events, but when you say host these days, it's more so you think about the person on the microphone and doing this, that, and other. I don't do that. I promote it, and then if I'm partnering with somebody, like one of my partners right now is my man Neiman Marcus. Neiman's host. He's on the mic all day, every day.
Right.
And we have a great relationship because I'm great at organization and structure.
Okay.
So I'll be the one making sure security's in place, door staff is in place, busting the money down here at night, expense sheet, you know, things like that. So I'm great at that. But the biggest one, like I said, probably was All-Star Weekend. Because Friday we had Gunna and Gucci. Okay. Saturday night we had Migos. And Migos had, that's when, was Cardi B there? No, Cardi B wasn't there. Old Buddy had Sweetie with him. The whole QC came.
Oh, okay.
The whole QC came Saturday night. Shout out to Main Event, Phil, Martez. That's what we partnered with that weekend. And then Sunday, we had Meek Mill, and that was the final for All Star. So we had Meek Mill in there, Lala, Wale came through, Young Chris from Young Guns, PJ, shout out to my man PJ Tucker. PJ came through. The dude that won a dunk contest that year came through. Yeah. Then we also had a day party. Shout out to my girl Courtney Couch with Atlantic Records and 40s and Waffles. We had the 40s and Waffles day party that Saturday. Okay. So that was probably the biggest one.
What goes into like getting together an event like that? Like what? Like from bottom to top? Like how do you even take on?
I'll give you a short version. Booking a venue, number one. Making sure you have the events and permits. Every city, every state, every town is different, right? So you gotta know the laws, right? Because to be real, these white people, they love shutting us down. Yeah. Like, right? They love coming and shutting us down. Yeah. They love to wait till we spend all our money, and they'll walk up there. This happened to me before. Mm-hmm. They'll walk up there the day before event, and deny you your liquor license. Pull your sound permit. You didn't do this, so we gonna pull your sound permit. Or you follow every rule and regulation, but they still send 30 or 40 officers to your event, and they're looking for something to say, we're gonna pull your liquor license. They're notorious in that in Charlotte for CIAA weekend. Right. Notorious for that. Yeah, so you gotta know how to navigate through that. You gotta know how to navigate that. Spend your money wisely. And one of the most important things to me is just the operations of the actual event, because you can promote an event. I feel like anybody can really promote an event, kind of, and bring people there. You get a little following, you know, and you can promote an event. But the challenge is when you get 400 people that show up at one time. Yeah. Are they waiting in line for an hour to get in? Is it a clusterfuck at the door? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or when you sell 20 or 30 tables and all of them show up at once. You know what I'm saying? That is. Like, do you have the ability to run a general admission line, a skip line, a VIP line, and your tables flowing all at the same time? Mm-hmm. That's the challenge that so many people don't think about going into events.
Yeah, because up until just now, like I would have never thought about that.
Exactly. I would have just threw the party. You would have threw the party. You just. You know what I'm saying? And then on the inside, do you have enough liquor for the weekend? Yeah. Do you have enough cocktails to run an event that has 25 to 30 tables? Right. The clientele that's coming in, a person like you might come in and be like, you know, you buy the table minimum, you get one bottle. But a person like you might be like, you gonna buy the table minimum, but you gonna pop 5 or 6 bottles. Mm-hmm. Do you have enough
to feed everybody?
You know what I'm saying? your DJ, the DJ that you book, does he have enough sense? He just gonna play trap music all night, or is he gonna see the ladies not vibing to the trap music? Or you gonna throw on something a little more lighter? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you have the ability to see nobody's on the dance floor, everybody's standing around? Do you have the ability to see like nobody's drinking right now? Like, let's get some people to the bar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that comes together when you're doing an event versus just so many people just want to book a DJ, do this, and you learn as you go, like a lot of people did. Like I did. But one thing I also did, I partnered with a lot of older folks, and I studied them. You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much. I'm a sponge. Like, to this day, I'll work with anybody. I work with a young nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I learned something from him that the younger folks might be adapt to that. I might be like, I ain't for that, but the younger folks might love it. So I gotta kind of change my strategy and go.
You gotta add pieces. You gotta add pieces
Mm-hmm.
and evolve. Because if not, then you're gonna stay stagnant as a business.
Yeah. So yeah, from beginning to end, man, it's knowing the laws. And it depends on the level of the event that you're thrown to.
Okay.
So to a lesser degree, I did see you in action with Fresh Empire. I know we didn't have to worry about like the liquor or anything like that, liquor license. But
we still had to worry about a lot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be real, I always say I was dealing with the belly of the beast, young black youth. Because you got people with your head on straight like yourself, but then you got kids that grow up, and by the time they 16, 17, they don't give a fuck about nothing.
Exactly.
They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about this event. Like, you disrespect them, they aim this whole bitch out.
Right. For real.
Like, straight up. Like, that's, you know, and at 16, 17, you feel grown.
Yeah.
And can't nobody tell you nothing. Especially if you done raised yourself. You know what I'm saying? And your parents out here doing whatever. So I that's why I'm like, it's the belly of the beast, because they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't dealing with liquor and stuff, but I was dealing with that.
Yeah, it's like you're still dealing with like raw, like
that raw emotion, and like that was my thing. But luckily, I had a budget. You know what I'm saying? And like shit, I booked the police. Like, we gonna book, like, straight up, bro. Straight up. We did events at the Teen Center, right? Which is right across the street from Raleigh North. You know what I'm saying? Which is right in the center of the south side of Raleigh.
Right.
So we might have did 700 kids. 300 is walking to the party.
I swear, from across the street.
Straight up. Yeah, you know? And what did I had spotlights around the entire Teen Center. I had armed security. I had my security that I work with in nightlife that I know that's on point. I had 6 police officers. I paid for them to bring, when you book police, off-duty police, you don't have to get, but you can have the option for them to bring a police car. I booked 5 police cars. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you know, like, and then I had them.
It's a vision.
I had them around. I put a police car in the parking lot over there by DTLR. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had 5, 6 police officers there. I had the outside. I had it structured as a systematic way to come in for the parents to pick their kids up. But what I can't control is 300 kids walking to the party.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like 50, 70, a group of 50, 75 walking over from Raleigh North. And ain't no telling what's tucked in. Ain't no telling what's tucked in them bushes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's real. That's the Fresh Empire to promoting and getting kids there was easy. Like, you know what I mean? But that was my concern with everything. The safety with them kids, bro. Yeah. Like the safety of them kids. But thank the Lord, we never had nothing happen because I staffed it. I had experience working with stuff. I done been in some stuff. Niggas done brought guns to the club, and I done seen some stuff. Parking lots get shot up. And again, my 6th sense. I mean, my street smarts. I got the ability to see stuff, and we was able to prevent a lot of stuff just through the security that I booked. And then, like, I'll be like, yo, y'all let me know, y'all. I know how beef is in high school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch you tonight at the Friday night football game, or better yet, everybody going to the Fresh Empire party. I'm gonna catch you, so I don't get them 10 days. I'm gonna catch you at the Fresh Empire party, and we gonna handle this. So I had my kids let me know who beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll tell me straight up, like who beefing. So that's just like when my experience in coming to doing stuff, and even throwing my own parties, I would know the streets. I would know this crew beefing with this crew. I'm not booking you a table, or if I put y'all in a club together, I'm not putting y'all beside each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a recipe for disaster.
Right.
So much going into it.
Yeah. Like that. Those are all the things that a lot of people don't think about, but I think about.
But that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, coming up how you grew up. Like you got a lot of life lessons early, and then having that older influence when you were coming up in the business also.
Yeah.
Like, it just lets you know like when things can go wrong, what small things that you can do to make sure that they don't go wrong.
Exactly.
And just seeing how you navigated that, like I want to commend you for that, because like no event, like we had one event where it was like a small scuffle, but it was cleared out.
Shout out to Beast, my security, everybody at Beast Book. Shout out to all y'all, because they helped me down when it came to that security, and those boys been doing security in this area for years, and like the same people I had doing security at Fresh Empire was the same staff I had booked for CIAA.
Okay. They the real deal. Like shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all, because I know like even just touching on that briefly, like you would even turn a kid away. They had like, I remember one time some kids showed up with like backwoods on their shirt, and of course you can't wear that, you know,
because again this was funded by the FDA. When you went in, you went through and you took pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this was getting sent to the client. That's the corporate side of it, right? So you can't come in there with smoking stuff on your shirt to a tobacco awareness event. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, because when you go through and take these pictures, they're gonna be like, hold on, what's this?
And then what's going on here?
You know what I'm saying?
Whole contract done.
And then on top of that kind of, as you said, I don't even remember that. You remember that? Yeah. I know I did it. Yeah. I'm sure I did it, but I don't remember that particular incident. But to that kid, he probably was like, that's stupid. I can't get in because I got this on. But as he got older, he probably, so I could have taught him and that turning him away about marketing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's crazy. We used to have,
we used to have some ties. Yeah, some ties in there. But taking it back to you saying that you was like, you're a music manager. So what's the process with that?
Process of that, I'm still learning. I'm not managing anyone right now, but it's a process. First time I did it was in college, One Man Trump and Broadway. They were two rappers. Trump was the brother of, I don't know if y'all remember Big Country from Grand Hustle. Yeah. That was his younger brother. Okay. So he lived in North Carolina. I mainly was with Broadway because he was at Central, but we went on the road. We did some shows with Grand Hustle, and it was a learning experience. Like I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of learning as you go and just doing any and everything that I can in that process. But then after that, I worked with, at the time his name was Pooh Bear, Fat Sosa. Shout out to Fat Sosa. Okay. I worked with him for a little bit. And that was a learning process. Anybody that knows that man knows that he's a great guy, but that nigga a knucklehead when he want to be. I love him to death. That's little bro. But you know what I mean? And it was just learning how to dealing with him and the Fat Sosa that was in him versus the Pooh Bear because he was an R&B artist. Right. He could sing. It was dealing with the artist that he wanted to be now versus the artist that he was then. Yeah. But man, we had a great run. He had his song "Wanna Know You" had like 100,000 views on YouTube back then. It was getting played in Fayetteville over 1,500 times. He had a record. He was on 106 and Park. The video was it Wild 'N Out Wednesday? He was up there for a couple times. I helped out with some other artists. I did, most recently I was managing Loverboy Vo. That situation didn't work out how we both wanted it, so we parted ways. But that we still cool. I still got a relationship with him. That's my guy. He a little Bobby Brownish.
Yeah.
That's my guy though. We had a great run. I helped put together his whole project, Hotel Forever.
Yeah.
We did some stuff out of state. That was a great run. And I still help musically with record label Big Mount Records. Shout out to MOS. A lot of people heard of him. A lot of people haven't heard of him. He was the first street rapper to actually get a record deal from North Carolina. He was signed with Jive back in like 2006.
Okay.
He had $1 million deal. Now he's more so on the corporate side of things. He got his own record label, his own artists that he working with. I help him with that.
Okay, that's tough. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, it's number one. One of the number one things is just like managing the person's personality.
Exactly.
And for me, just growing with stuff is like, if I'll meet with you and feel you. I have artists that hit me up now talking about they want a manager. But for me, number one, I gotta see the vision. Oh, lastly, shout out to my girl Taijoura Murray. I'm sorry, I helped with her, young R&B artist. I had her with some Fresh and Fire stuff.
Yeah,
shout out to Nick. He's over top of that whole project. But I've had some artists hit me up asking, but number one, I gotta believe in the vision. Just because I don't see the vision don't mean that it's not gonna work. I just might not see it. And number two, man, I can't outwork you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't outwork you. I can't outwork you as a manager. Like, we need to be pushing each other. You know what I'm saying? So that would probably be like my number one challenge is like finding somebody that I actually believe in, and then just having that conversation, putting the vision together, and impacting that vision.
All right. Yeah, because you can't outwork somebody, and
I used to tell
they dream like
you can't outwork somebody.
I can't outwork you. This is your dream, like. And then for me, man, I got kids, so I gotta believe in you for real, and you definitely gotta be hustling, because if I'm missing my kids' baseball game, basketball game, for you, and you can't even be in the studio making good music, or you can't even do X, Y, Z. Nah, bro.
Chalk that up.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what was some, taking it back to like events, or even with managing music, what were some like memorable moments from that?
Memorable moments. Working with MO, we took a trip to MOS. We went to New York. We met with not Epic Records. Meeting with it's in the same building as Epic. Was it Jive? No, not Jive. I can't remember record label. But we met with, I don't know if y'all remember Myth Hits. He was hosted. He was an A&R at Jive. He's still in music stuff, but he was the host of BET Rap City for a second.
Okay.
He was married to Lil Wayne ex-wife Latoya.
Got you.
That's her ex-husband.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going up there, and I was just sitting in the same room. They got something called the Cage, the Pit, something like that. It's Mark Pitts. I don't know if y'all heard of Mark Pitts. Mark Pitts is one of the top music label executives. He's over top of Usher, Miguel. Was it Usher? It might be Usher. It's Miguel. A lot of artists. But I was sitting in his office. He doesn't have an office there. It's a room with a studio, and that's where they play all the top music. Like J. Cole. He's responsible for J. Cole. I think he's the one that got J. Cole to Jay-Z. But we was in there listening to some of MO's music, and I was just like, yo, like I'm sitting on the same couch that this person sat on, this person sat on. Like I'm in this room, like I'm in the room now.
Yeah.
That was probably like music-wise one of the most memorable things. And then like just getting different record labels, they let me know that they was interested in the artist that I was working with.
Yeah.
And just mainly, man, like getting that recognition, because Raleigh is a smaller market.
Yeah.
And it's a smaller market, and when you see that hard work pay off, there's outside markets or outside key individuals seeing what you got going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that would probably be one of my top with the being like just the management.
For sure. That's dope, man, because sitting in them same tables, them same rooms, like, you right there, like, that's been
one of my quotes that I live by is, what is it? Work hard, you bust your ass until your idols become your rivals.
Absolutely.
And once you bust your ass until your idols become your rivals. Party-wise in this market, I've done that. From, B-Rolls, Big Tex, Adolph, those are all folks that were like throwing parties when I was in high school, and now I got a relationship with them. They're like my friendly rivals. I still do business with them, but we all eat at the end of the day. It's like nothing bad, but those are like some of the OGs that I work with that party-wise that I still have great relationships with in this market.
So,
being on like both sides of the like music industry, pretty much like being on the managing side and also like promoting, pretty much. Like, what was something that shocked you the most about the music industry?
The phoniness. The phoniness.
I knew you was gonna say that.
The phoniness, bro. Like, cause you see everybody and they buddy. They take a picture, cause you might see a picture and you don't know the backstory behind the picture. You just see, this person does this person doing this. They taking pictures and they cool. But as soon as they walk away, fuck that nigga. I don't like that nigga. Like it's just the phoniness of it. Yeah, it's so phony. Even but it's the same thing with party business. Cause trust me, believe. I ain't gonna call the nigga name out, but it was a relationship. Me and this dude, we ain't see eye to eye, and me and him had a conversation. And it was, nah, man, we cool, you this, you that, we cool, la da da da. And then he go have a meeting with some niggas and threw my name up under the motherfucking bus.
That's lame.
Corny as hell.
Yeah, that's lame.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, and the thing about it is when the meeting was over, my people called me and was like, God damn, what you do to blase? This nigga was in here, Marceau ain't this, Marceau ain't that, and I'm this and I'm that, and I said, bro, that's crazy. Me and him had a conversation an hour ago. And he said I was this and I was that, and I was this and I was that.
To my face.
Yeah, and now I'm like fucking phony, bro. Like that's the number one thing.
Facts.
Yeah, bro.
But we're gonna take it to my favorite segment on Fast Five.
Okay.
So what this is, so you have 5 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You have 1 minute to answer all 5 questions.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You ask them all at once?
Yeah, we about
It'll be back
to
to back.
spit them off. So you got
Alright.
60 seconds to get them right.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's go.
If you could hold on to one memory from your life forever, what would it be?
The birth of my kids.
So, who are your top 5 artists of all time?
Jay-Z, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, lastly, the whole Wu-Tang.
For sure. What are some ways you boost your self-love?
Talk to myself, tell myself I can do it.
For sure.
Pray, take time to myself, say F everything else, take time to myself, and I enjoy my kids.
For sure. What would you tell your 18-year-old self if you could go back in time?
My 18-year-old self, no matter what, keep pushing. Damn, that's a tough one. All right, keep pushing, stay focused. Don't let these women get you in trouble.
For sure. Last question. So what is one question you wish we'd asked you, and how would you have answered?
Man, you wanted me to answer all that in a minute. That shit right there is a minute-long thought process. One question, I would say how to navigate family and business.
Okay.
Because that's a lot in like the mental health of the business. Because like I've been through a lot, from relationships to being in the club and having kids, and being in the club or being on the road and having a girlfriend, and the struggles that shit come with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I'll leave it at that. The struggles that shit come with. I ain't even talking about the groupies that it come with. I'm just talking about just the time, like.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know,
you
you
really
wait-
don't be at home.
Yeah, like you, and then it's like when you get home. One thing that I did learn, I'll say this, is like I was told this, like you can't give it all to everybody.
Right.
Meaning you gotta save a piece of you for your family, right?
Absolutely.
So I can't be in the streets from 9 in the morning to 9 at night. As soon as I walk in the door, I want to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, which was what I want to do, or just check out because I dealt with so much that day. I gotta save a piece for my family, for my kids, and if I'm with a woman, I gotta save a piece for her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that I had to learn over these years that I've lived on this earth. I learned the hard way. But yeah, and then like with mental health and this, cause this shit will drive you crazy sometimes, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For sure. It's very important to take care of self first.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you gotta check out. Like, I remember coming home when I was younger. I went to my mom's house to grab something, and I was probably grinding for like 2-3 days straight. I'm talking about, cause I'm still in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had an internship, different marketing accounts, and I went back to my mom's house, and my mother was like, "Hey boy, just slow down. You're running in, you're doing this." And I sat on my bed upstairs in my bedroom. This is probably, I came in like 6:30, and I sat down. That was my first time actually sitting down for almost like 2-3 days. Cause I was up and running, class, I got a test, I got to study. I'm falling asleep like this. All right, I'm up and I'm gone. And I went to sleep. I sat down, I laid back, and I went to sleep maybe about 6:30. I woke up the next day like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Dang, that's crazy.
Like, I'm not talking about waking up and going to take a piss. I'm not talking about my phone ringing and going, like, I slept straight.
6:30, 4:30.
Like 4:30 afternoon. My mother was like, "I ain't wake you up because I knew how tired you was. Like, you be going. From that point, I was like, all right, I gotta slow down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just dead to the world. And from that point, I started to slow down. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to sleep right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or else, because you gonna drive yourself to an early grave running like that.
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you a bonus question.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
get to ask you this before.
Yeah.
So, what were some roadblocks you faced along the way, and how did you overcome those?
In entertainment, you gonna have people, again, the phoniness. You gonna have people that's blocking you from day one because they see your fear and they see your potential. Two examples I'll give. Okay. And I'm gonna give this one because this was young. I was young, and I'm in college. There was a girl working for Def Jam, and she was a college rep down here. I wanted to intern with for Def Jam. I'm like, yo, if I give you my resume, cool. It's interns in the music business that will not pass your resume along because they don't want to lose their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never passed my resume along to the person that she could have passed it to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, because I talked to somebody and it was like, yo, watch her, she the type of shit on you. And I'm like, oh nah, it's all good, we cool, we this, we young, we both 19, 20, trying to come up in the, no, you gotta understand, because when you get to that New York office, it's 10 of you in there and only one of you gonna make it to actually get that job. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas gonna cut your throat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And another example I would give is like, I had an interview with a place and they was like, everything was going good, but somebody told me that somebody was like, yo, Marceau can't have that job. That's too much power for him to have. Don't do what you gotta do not to let him get that job. I was like, what? And you my man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or supposedly. Well, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, you fear me. Yeah. Because you know what I would do with some shit like that. We gonna run it up. Yeah. But, those will probably be, those two right there, like, you gotta watch out for people like that. But even though you that's gonna come, and just be mentally prepared, because when shit like that happen, like, that shit hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, but you gotta keep it pushing and keep it moving and know how to learn how to navigate around those different people that's gonna do what they gotta do to hold you back.
So, man, I wanna ask you, so what's next for you?
What's next? that I can talk about.
Yeah.
What's next I'm talking about? A great summer, man. I feel like I've been doing this for a while. I'm looking into the process of getting my own building. As far as nightlife wise, I'm kind of trying to up in the air if I want to make it like a club or like a restaurant lounge. Kind of, we'll see. And you know, just a great summer with great events at the end of the day. That's what I can talk about.
For sure.
Right now. And I would say next will probably be, that I can talk about, is probably just, you know, stepping into the concert world.
Okay.
Throwing my own concerts.
That's dope.
So that'll probably be the next major thing. But you know, it's a process. I'm a sponge. I don't rush into nothing. You know, I take my time. I study and learn it. So when I get into it, you know, I'll be able to hit the ground running.
For sure. And so where can the viewers find you at home?
Mainly social media. Instagram, Marceau Winston. It's Marceau Winston, W-I-N-S-T-O-N. If you're on Instagram, email first and last name @gmail.
So, yeah, y'all want to go to one of these events, please hit up Marceau. He gonna have you loaded. He gonna have you lit. You know.
We got R&B Wednesday every Wednesday. Glenwood Social. I'm not sure when it's gonna drop, but Easter Sunday, we got a bar crawl on Fayetteville Street coming. We're about to get a lot of things going on Fayetteville Street. Trying to think else. What else?
And I'm here to tell you that R&B Wednesdays, y'all need to pull up to that R&B Wednesdays.
Oh yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. Shout out to even the DJ Rec. Yeah.
Shout out everybody. Shout out to security too.
Right. Shout out to security.
Shout out to, I gotta shout my man out. He's like, always find you a mentor that you can learn and study from. Shout out to my old head, Phil Fuller. I didn't say a lot of people's names. Yeah, you remember Phil? Yeah, I done said a lot of names. I can't go through this whole thing and not say my man Phil's name.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Phil helped me with the fancy merch too.
Yep.
Shout out Phil.
That's the unofficial mayor of Durham.
For sure.
That's the unofficial mayor. He got a lot of kids and nephews and nieces.
For sure. And for everybody at home, remember, it's all love, and we're out.